Good day, my name is Kevin Acosta. I come to tell about the definition of a stop consonant. This topic tells about stop consonants are produced by forming a closure in the vocal tract, building up pressure in the mouth veins, the closure, and releasing the closure. Model of mechanical, aerodynamic, and acoustic events in the vicinity of the stop consonant are described. An example of calculation of the airflow and of various components of the radiated zone are given. At the consonantal release, these components of the sound include an initial transient, a burst of frequency noise, and an interval in which there is sound sources and the glottis and transition. In the formats, the model predicts the absolute levels of these components for different places of articulation for consonants. Next, my partner Jonathan will give you some examples about voiced stop consonant.
Hello everybody. In this moment I talk about a different characteristic of consonants B, G and G. Okay, I go start with the consonant B. The basic structure is point, bilabial, voicing, voiced, manner is stop, and velum is oral. And in this moment I give you a different examples for this. The first word is back. Back. The correct pronunciation is back. The other example is bumps. Bumps. And two more. For example, busy. Busy. You put your lips together when you start to pronounce of this word. And the final word is best. Best. Okay, the next consonant is D. This structure is point, alveolar, voicing is voiced, manner is stop, and velum is oral. And I give you a different examples of this. For example, the word do, the other word that, the other don't, and the other daughter. A more long word, the so-duration. Okay, and final consonant is ha, ha. The structure basic is point, velar, voicing, voiced, manner is stop, and velum is oral. And I give you a different examples of words have this consonant. For example, God. Look at the pronunciation. God. Girl. Girl. And in this part I mentioned you a different form in the different words. For example, in this case you can find this consonant in the middle of word. For example, in the words agree or in the word organization.
Thank you, Jonathan. Our partners, Maria Fernanda and Karen, are going to talk about the following topics.
So now we're going to talk about the flap itself. The flap, it is an allophone that we can provide in a specific two letters and two phonemes. One of them is the T sound, and another one it is the D sound. The thing is that in some specific words that some misunderstand itself, for some reason, sometimes we can hear that maybe the D sound is going to sound like a T sound, or maybe as an R sound, but it's a completely different way, and the reason why it is about the phoneme itself. There are some specific exceptions, there are some specific examples that we can provide in order to, of course, go ahead and check which is the real sound that we are hearing. So, for example, in the first one, the thing is that in the moment that you were trying to pronounce that specific phoneme, it's going to be in the tongue that touches the ridge behind the upper front teeth. It means that little mountain that you can see in the beginning of your in the front tip, and that specific line that you see before the alveolar. So when that the air itself is going to breathe up a little bit, and it's trying to go to the throat, and it's going to tap like a stop sound. A little brief example, it will be like that. So in the thing, when you finish that, the specific word, you will see a stop sound. It will be that. And for that reason, maybe it will be like misunderstood as a T, but in itself, it's a D itself. And now there was another option. For example, when we're going to put it before a vowel, something in the T sound, it's going to sound like a little bit like an R, but it doesn't. So for a reason, for example, in matrix, maybe it will be like matrix. Then we're going to use, for example, in an stressed vowel, it's going to sound like the same way. It will be like kiddo. When we pronounce that word, it's going to sound like we're talking about an R itself, but it doesn't. It is a D, a specific phoneme. And also, there's another option that says that it's before another consonant when it's, for example, when it's mori. And it's more that in the moment that we're trying to pronounce it in a specific way, those specific phonemes, there are those specific exceptions as well. So when we're talking about that specific flap that we're already trying to use in the moment that we pronounce a T sound or a D sound, another really good example, it will be, as I mentioned before, with that, the stop sounds that you can see at the end of the word itself. But for example, if we use the word daddy, you can see that in this case it's going to sound like an R sound. However, if you can check the word itself, it's going to be with two D's. That's why in this case we're talking about that specific flap, because when we try to transcribe to the alphabetic international phonetic alphabet, it's going to be in that way. It's going to sound like an R. However, it is shown as a D, a specific way.
Hi everyone, my name is Karen, and I'm going to talk about the semi-consonants sounds. So we are going to start. The semi-consonant sounds are also called glides. So a glide is similar to a vowel, but it's stronger than a vowel. So it sounds like a vowel, but it's more stronger. So it's not a vowel. That's why we call that sounds as semi-consonants. All right. So a glide is produced when your tongue approaches a point of articulation within the mouth, which does not come close enough to obstruct the flow of the air. So the air doesn't come out to your nose; it comes out through your mouth, only because through your mouth. So your tongue goes top of the roof of your mouth, and the air flows. So we are going to see a little bit more examples. So in English, we only have two sounds that are semi-consonants, and those are this sound w. So the semi-consonant w, it's labiovelar approximant. So which means that you run your lips for a narrow space w, Do you see the narrow space? At the back of your mouth with your tongue. So woo. So your tongue touch a little bit the roof of your mouth, and you always have to press your lips like that to make that sound. So we can see that the bilabial semiconsonant woo, it's produced, as I told you, when your lips are round, and the dorsum of the tongue is raised toward the soft palate. So in Spanish we have some sounds like that also. So it's not a semi-vowel, a semi-consonant, sorry, in English. It's also in Spanish, is present in Spanish, in huevo, huele. So do you see the way I produce that sound? And in English we have whale, work, we have wet. So that's one of week, for instance, what, went. So it's very used. So it doesn't sound like a consonant, it sounds like a vowel. So, but it's not a vowel, as I told you before, as I explained you. But you can see that that's one of the most known sound about semiconsonants. And the other one is the sound je. So we have to produce the sound je, raising the sides of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. It's similar to the w, but it's stronger. It's je. It's a little bit with more vibration in your throat. So voice out through your mouth while lowering the back of your tongue. So the middle and the front of your tongue should be touching the roof. The middle and the front should be touching the roof of the soft palate of your tongue, of your mouth, sorry. And well, it's more than that. So the air flows through the center between the sides of your tongue. So the air flows around the sides of your tongue and is redirected to the front of your tongue and goes out. So it's like je, as you can see. So it's usually spelled with the letter Y. The sound je is usually spelled with the letter Y, or sometimes it's spelled with an E, like in view. So you can say that view. I produce that sound, but the word view doesn't have any je, so it doesn't have that morpheme, but it's produced like that. And well, there are some examples of that sounds that have the letter Y, and it's, for instance, yes, the word yes, that is very common. And we have yard, we have young, and we have unit also. You, do you say? And the word or the pronoun you is also used. So and that's all, guys. That's a semi-consonant sounds in English. So hope you enjoyed these videos. Me and my partners, we make the effort to do these videos, and that's all, guys. Take care.